This lasagna recipe goes back years, and my mother never really shared it with me until now. I'm really excited to show you how it's done. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Dude, I'm really excited to share this recipe with everybody. We've been eating this for years, just like our spaghetti. This lasagna recipe has been around from our grandmother. She passed it down to my mother, and for years I asked my mom for the recipe, and she would give me this little smirk, and she wouldn't actually tell me the recipe. But I'm really excited. She finally gave in. She finally said, here it is. This is what you do. And I'm really excited to share it with you guys. And it's pretty much similar to the spaghetti dish that we made previously. We have a viewer who actually tried it, Kelly Downing. Thank you so much for the comments. She loved it. She said it was absolutely amazing. So this is going to be just the same. So let's get started. No more talking. Let's do it. I have half a onion here. This is the brown onion that I'm going to go ahead and use whatever onion you would like. To this, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil. My pan is on. Go ahead and throw the onions in. Now we're going to sweat these onions out a little bit. I have one whole head of garlic that we're going to throw in. Give it a mix. I'm using an 80-20 ground beef. It's about 2.5 pounds. It's a lot of ground beef, huh?
A lot of ground beef.
No, it'll shrink down. And the way to do that, cover it and let it sit. And all the moisture and everything will pull out and everything will be beautiful. Every once in a while, go ahead and open up the lid and just check on it. Break down the meat. Give it a little mix. At this point, I'm going to add in 1 pinch. 2 big pinches of salt, 1 big pinch of black pepper. We have some basil, about a teaspoon of basil, teaspoon of, oh shoot,
Not a teaspoon.
that is not a teaspoon. About a teaspoon of oregano, teaspoon of paprika. And again, even though we added garlic, we're just gonna add a little bit more, about a teaspoon of garlic. Give it a mix. And we cover it. All right, right about now, we're gonna go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of 7 spice. 7 spice depends what brand you get. Usually there's nutmeg, cumin, coriander. It's just a blend of different spices. So just again, it depends on the brand that you're getting.
You're not gonna find it at that American grocery store, right?
No, you'll find it more like Indian spice, Middle Eastern type of places. But if you don't live anywhere close to any Middle Eastern stores, you can order it on Amazon. Amazon does have different spices. And honestly, it adds a totally different twist in your dishes. So we'll let this cook down a few more minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the tomato and a couple other things. So we'll be right back. All right, now I have 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, okay? 1/4 stick of butter. We have some mushrooms. Optional. This is honestly optional. Go ahead and add that. Give it a little mix. And cover. A couple more minutes. All right, to this I have 28 ounces of crushed tomato. We'll go ahead and add that.
28 ounces exactly.
Exactly. To the T. We'll add some water to it and we mix.
That looks amazing.
It's gonna be nice and juicy. Now, honestly, what really is gonna make this dish is, besides the actual tomatoes and the seasoning, to me, it's the cheeses. We're gonna put a ton of different cheeses. It's gonna be, I mean, when I pull it out, you're gonna see the stretch on that cheese. Hopefully.
What if it doesn't?
No, it's gonna stretch. So we'll let this cook down a little bit. I'm gonna set it aside. We're gonna start boiling the water for the actual pasta. Make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, guys, we're back. Now it's time to throw in our pasta for the lasagna. But before I do, I have a basil leaf here that I'm going to throw in, a couple of them, just to let it simmer with the ground beef. Push it in. Give it a little mix. I have my lasagna here. Now we have water going. And remember, guys, try not to put any oil. Don't worry about it. It's not going to stick. Everything's going to be okay. You put oil, the sauce is not going to grab onto the actual lasagna. Let it do its thing. Yeah, I gave up. All right, while the meat is simmering and the sauce and the noodles are boiling, let me tell you a little bit about the cheese. The cheese is Parmesan, Monterey Jack, mozzarella, and obviously ricotta, okay? This is what I have inside of this bowl. It's about 1 pound each of all those cheeses, plus the ricotta. I'm gonna use this whole thing. So definitely this lasagna, I know it's gonna sound kind of cheesy, but it's gonna be cheesy. So if you want, you could actually move the pasta around, and it's gonna be perfectly fine. You won't be in a sticky situation. Bro, I don't know where I get these stuff from. It just comes out of nowhere. I swear to God.
It's because you're a dad.
Yeah.
You got jokes.
My kids don't laugh anymore. They just kind of give me that look, like, really? It's okay though. Can you do?
Well, to be fair, you kind of do. You do.
What? Hey, bro, if you don't laugh nowadays, right, guys? We gotta laugh. We gotta laugh. We gotta have fun with it. Live, love, cook, eat, and laugh. Nothing better. That's it.
How do you know when the pasta's done?
You throw it against your brother if it stinks.
No, seriously.
You can feel it. You can tell it's done. When it was like that, right?
Yeah.
When it comes out of the water, it's like this.
Again.
Tired, it's done. But actually, the lasagna, in my opinion, takes a little bit longer because it is a thicker, wider pasta. So I tend to go about 12 to 13 minutes, and I'll go ahead and I'll see how it rips and give it a little taste once it's done. Plus, it's going to cook in the oven too, so it'll be perfectly fine. So we'll wait till this boils and gets done. I have my cheese ready, and we'll go ahead and start putting it in the pan and stick it in the oven. We'll be right back. All right, guys, the pasta is done. Let's go ahead and dump out the water, drain it, and we're going to let it sit for a few minutes. Everything's ready to go, and this is how the assembly is going to happen. We'll take some of our sauce. We'll put it in the bottom.
Why do you do that?
This is for moisture. It's going to keep it, it's going to cook from the bottom. So we don't want it to dry out at the bottom. So we put the moisture down there and it'll cook and it'll keep it nice and juicy and moist. Grab your pasta and we're going to go ahead and just layer. Just like that. Grab your ground beef, spread it around.
I wasn't hungry, but now I'm getting hungry.
Beautiful. All the cheeses, and be generous. Oh, man.
The smell of the ground beef is amazing.
It is, right? And just keep layering.
Farfalloni amoroso, notte giorno d'intorno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo.
Now on the top, we're going to go ahead and add some ricotta. Ricotta in lasagna is
Key.
key. You could put pecorino romano. I've seen them do that too. The cheese is honestly, in my opinion, the secret to it. Besides, obviously, the sauce, but ricotta and all the cheeses, the blend is amazing. And the good thing about it with lasagna is that we actually cooked everything. So we're not going to be cooking anything really in the oven. We want the cheese to melt. We just want all the flavors to nicely marinate inside in the oven and just combine. Get to know everybody. So everything is ready to go. The oven's on 400 degrees. We're going to let it go for about 30 minutes. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to cover it and I'm going to puncture a few holes in it. That way, usually when you have it in the oven, it'll tend to spill over. So with the holes in the foil, we should have it cooked really, really nice. And then towards the end, I'll pull it out. Go ahead and take out the foil. I'll stick it back in without the foil and let the cheese actually kind of get that little burny crust on it. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. So I'll cover this, stick it in the oven, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, look at that. That right there is lasagna gold.
Wow. Dude,
That-
the smell.
Amazing. I don't even want to cut it, bro.
Don't. Just leave it.
That's like a work of art right there. You ready?
Oh, yes, please.
Look at that, baby. That is gold. I'm going to go ahead and try this out. You want one, brother? No, you have to wait.
I'll eat it after.
Look at that.
It's really hot.
It is hot. I don't know what to say. Again,
You never know what to say.
absolutely amazing, guys. But there you go, guys. My grandma's recipe for lasagna. Finally was able to do it. I'm super happy and super excited to share this with you guys. Until next time, make sure you guys subscribe. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and visit us on Instagram at the Garlic and Butter Guy. And leave us a nice comment, interact with us, and don't forget, ringle-dingle that bell. Ah, energy. See me? I can't see what I'm doing. I really can't see what I'm doing. Did I make it into the bowl?
Yeah. Very good. Pasta, ground beef, cheese, pasta, ground beef, cheese, pasta, ground beef, cheese. Pasta, ground beef, cheese.
Everything's ready to go, and this is how the assembly is going to happen. We'll take some of our... What's it called? We'll take some of our sauce, we'll put it in the bottom, and we're gonna go ahead and we'll just go ahead